What is going on, guys? Broken Eyes here, coming at you today with a much anticipated deck profile. This is my deck profile per day. I have, let me see, I have one, two, three, maybe three or four more to show you. As my little thing of just getting all the deck profiles out of the way that I never got to show. Without further ado, not much has changed in this deck other than the fact that I've kind of upgraded. As you can see, this is the rare version of Red Resnare, and a few rare cards that came out, so it's all rarity bumped some of the deck. I haven't changed too much, but this is a much more competitive build compared to my other decks. A lot of them are not competitive. This one would be a little bit more competitive. Now, it's still not the best deck out there, but it's probably one of the best decks I like to play with. It's really fun. So yeah. So first off, I'm just going to show you what to run and why you run so many or whatever. I'm going to go what to do. So this Red Resnare, you kind of need to run 3, or not kind of, you definitely need to run 3. It's all your main combo piece, probably the best Resnare in the deck. The whole deck kind of based around him, and a lot of decks actually use this card, really utilize this card's effect and stuff. It's actually very, very good. But basically what it does is it can gain life points if it's special summon to the highest attack position monster in the field. And also what it does is, it basically is a Goblinberg and normal summon another level 4 or lower monster from your hand when it's normal summoned. So there's that. Next we have Synchron Resnare. Synchron Resnare special summon itself if there is a Synchro monster on the field. Pretty simple effect. And then if it's used as a Synchro material and this in the graveyard, or Resnare's in the graveyard, you can get Resnare back to your hand. So good that way for recycling. Next, one of the new ones. This one is double Resnare. What this one does is it basically can target a monster in the field and make it a tuner, which helps for cards like this. If you're running cards like Battle Fader and stuff, it's really working well with this. Now, I don't run Battle Fader, but it's good for an Ultimized Oaken play. I'll show you later as well. That's why I run that one. Then there's the one Creation Resnare, special summon itself if you have a level 8 Synchro on the field, which you more than likely will. Then you got one Chain. Chain can special summon another tuner from the deck if you have a Synchro monster out in the field. Then for the last tuner, we have one Ghost Ogre. Ghost Ogre is just a nice hand trap, as well as being a level 3. If I can pick up the card. Next, for the monsters, we have 3 Red Warg. Red Warg, and if you normal summon a Resonator, you can special summon him. He's a level 6, so it can basically first turn Scarlight, which is what you mainly use it for. Next, Red Sprinter. Red Sprinter is a really good problem solving card, because what you can do is, if you have no monster in the field, you can special summon a Resonator from the grave, or a tuner from the grave. Maybe it's Resonator. Sorry, level Fiend or whatever from the graveyard. Special summon it, which works really well with red, because you can gain life points then. Yes, and it's a level 4, so it goes for your level 6 plays. Next, the 2 Primitive Butterfly. Butterfly can be level 5 or 6, depending on what you want it to be. If you draw a 3, leave it the way it is. If you draw a red, have it a 6 to go for Scarlight again. Next, Wandering King Wildwind. This is one of your searchers. When it's in the graveyard, not the turn it was sent there, you can basically search off a tuner. And also, if the tuner on the field, you can special summon it. One of the new cards that came out, really, really nice as well. It was a card Jack used in the manga. Next, 3 searchers, rarity bump to rare. Searched out all your Resonator monsters, not much to say about that. Mind Control is really good for Synchro decks, because you can take your opponent's monster and Synchro it. 2 Dark Hole, because a lot of the decks work on your field being empty. So I wanted to utilize making your field empty as much as possible. That's why I was going for the idea with that. Next, because you're more than likely going to have a 7 or an 8 in the graveyard, I brought back Return of the Dragon Lords. It's extra protection, and it brings back Scarlight if you need it for later on. It's your only kind of revival card. There's 2 revival cards from the graveyard, but this is one of them. So yeah. Soul Charge as well is another one. Brings back from the graveyard, pay life points, but you really don't mind paying life points because you have red to gain life points back. Next, the 1, I've changed it down to 1, Resonant Destruction. If you get this, first turn, you're fairly well. You don't want to have too much, it gets too cloggy. You don't want 2. 1 is perfect. As soon as you Synchro summon using a Resonator monster, you can destroy a card in the field. So you can just say Synchro summon twice in one turn, you get strike 2 cards. Pretty easy. 1 for 1 because it searches out a lot of your deck. Foolish Burial, to get some of the tuners into the graveyard for Red Sprinter's effect. Works well with that. Also for this, to fuel your graveyard with this. This is Reject Reborn. And what it does is basically if your opponent attacks directly, you can stop that attack and then special summon a tuner monster and a synchro monster from your graveyard, but their effects are negated. So red doesn't get its effect off, but if you plan this right on the last attack, you can special summon the 2 and then probably go for a Tyrant or Calamity at the end of that. Whatever you want. Next, for a bit of the deck can be kind of inconsistent, so I've run 3 Quake and Mirror Forces because it's very, very good. Then if you have a red dragon or dragon type synchro monster on the field, you can special summon 2 Resonator monsters from your deck. Very good to go into Tyrant and stuff like that. So now for the extra deck, we have first one. I'll go for the low first. So we have one Ultimate Zoken. Ultimate Zoken can be made with a level 6 and a 6 synchro, one of these. So you can go for Red Warg and one of the 6s I'm about to show you, and you can go for then make any of your dragon synchro monsters fairly easily. That's twice matter in there. Next, I have the 1 level 5. Because you run loads of 4s and 1s, you can go into this Samasar Dragon or Birth. It's basically a Monster Reborn monster. Next, Stardust Charge. You can basically draw a card when it's synchro summoned. Same thing goes for Coral Dragon. You can pop a monster on your opponent's side of the field, but if you want, you can also pop itself and draw a card as well. Red Wyvern, just to have another red card. It's a dragon as well. I know Coral Dragon's a dragon. Feel free to take this out, but it's really good kind of if your opponent has a stronger attack position monster, you can just destroy it. I don't think it targets either. The 1 Black Rose Moonlight is probably one of the best level 7 synchros out there at the minute, as well, to getting rid of level 5 or higher and being able to pop monsters back to the hand. Same goes for Clearwing Synchro Dragon and Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. You're going to have many level 1s. It's going to be very easy to make 7s. Synchron Resonator makes him very easily, and you can also use Ultimate Zoken to summon him. Next, probably one of the strongest, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. Can destroy all face attack position monsters on your opponent's side of the field and attack directly. He's the only one who can attack that turn. Next, 2 Scarlight, one of my favourites. It's just a beautiful card. Like, look at that. How can you not love that card? So this one basically destroys monsters with 3000 or less attack and inflicts damage for that, and it still can attack that turn. 2 Abyss. Abyss can stop mirror forces and dark holes and stuff. Regekis. It can actually stop really good cards, just by negating them, have a negation effect, and it can special summon tuners as well from the deck or from the graveyard. Sorry. This one can special summon from the deck and graveyard. This is a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. Bane is one of the strongest. 3500 attack. Very strong. What this one could do is you can tribute a monster and special summon any of your Red Dragon Archfiend monsters from the graveyard. So say you summon this and special summon Synchron, you can tribute Synchron and you can go for this, bring it back from the graveyard. Very strong, and it also special summons if it inflicts damage, you can special summon a tuner from the graveyard and deck. And lastly, we have Tyrant. Now Tyrant, I've ran over a few other cards. I'll just go over what Tyrant does. Tyrant basically can nuke the whole field and attack for 35, and then if your opponent activates a trap or spell during the battle step, you can negate that and gain 500. That's what the deck is. The deck is actually very amazing. I'll just show you some honorable mentions what I wanted to add, but I just couldn't. Vermilion Dragon Mech, the reason behind this is if you draw Red Borg and a Creation Resonator, first turn you can get this card, but I just thought it's one-on-one, so there's not really much being able to do, but I just thought it would be easy to go into. Then I had to show off Red Dragon Archfiend, the original artwork. I just feel like he's a bit outdated, but I really wanted to add him to the deck, but if this is more competitive, I didn't want to do that. And then the 2 boss monsters, which are probably one of my favourites, but I just couldn't find room to fit them into this deck. I just feel Tyrant is much stronger and easier to summon with the 2 level 1s. The only way to summon those is you'd need 2 red Resonators, or you'd need 2 level, a 1 and a 3. And the same, just because Red Dragon Archfiend is so easy to make, but if you had Bane or something like that, you could use it, but you need a 1, or a Abyss and you need 1 and 1 kind of thing. So it's not very strong, easy to get those 2, whereas this one just 2 level 1s. It's much easier, especially with Chain Resonator and stuff like that. But that's the deck profile. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below if you liked it. Give me a comment, let me know what you think. And that was the deck profile video. Please let me know if you liked it though, honestly, and have a little discussion in the comment section down below. And this has been Broken Eyes, and good luck.